End up with around about that much braid.
So same length as
the ferrule part, the knurled part of it. This knife blade should be either a brand new fresh blade, it needs to be really sharp. This one's not too bad at the end. And you want to. Now this coax has got a little bit of grease in it as well, which is why it's not falling away quite as you would perhaps expect. And then about 1 millimetre above that, go right through to the end. So what you should be end up with at the end of it is something that looks like that. Some people will take some time just to clean out any residual, but it's not too much of a problem. What you do want to do is just lift out the braid very carefully from there without disturbing it too much. So that you can get the connector body under it. You must leave the braid available. If you cut it off, which is a nice tidy finish, there's not enough body for the crump to grab. Okay, so once you've done that, the length of that is...
And shaking the rubbish now. Let's raise the rubbish now.
Oh, there it is.
Right. So what length do you cut?
Just enough so that it's firmly inside.
Oh yeah.
You've got enough length to grab onto.
So just past the hole.
Just past the hole or a little bit.
Lead you astray.
Just you hang on to that. I've just got to change.
Then you run around in there. You get it all in there.
There'll be a small pause in the proceedings while I update the drawers.
First law of servicing, save all of the parts.
This is where we find out whether these are crimp connectors or solder connectors. If they are solder connectors, this will go very badly at this point.
It's had a bit of a hard time there, it should.
Should be okay. Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned that they're a solder connector.
They look like it, don't they?
Do they have a recoil if that's so?
Some of the crimp ones do too, that's the trouble.
So that you can inspect.
Yeah. Damn it, damn it.
Let's fill out the joint size up. And I'm pretty sure that was a solder one. However, it has crimped up well enough and it is very firm. So that's not going to be a problem. The only catch will be whether this will go over it. Okay, put it down. You're looking for the pin to be just, you should be able to just feel the point when you put your finger in. So it's virtually level but not quite. If it projects out and you stab yourself, it's too long. The only variant is some of the pins on some connectors got a rounded end. You expect them to be about 1/4 of a mil further in. So the ferrule itself. Okay, and then let's push that up. There shouldn't be any braid showing at the end of it. And that's it.
It makes it look so easy.
It is, it really are. You start doing 2 or 3 of them and by the end of it,
Yeah.
it doesn't take very much. And so we'll just heat shrink that on to keep it sealed up.
There's a little bit of insulation underneath that.
Yes, definitely a little bit to hang on to.
Yeah. Days of doing the old green power ones with all the washers and bits and pieces.
And
You
there
made
are
a nice cable up and you get to the other end. Oh shit, I've left the washer off, but you've already put the other end on.
Usually what happens nowadays is you'll discover you've left the heat shrink off or the crimp ferrule.
Yes. Yes.
But this is the glue-based heat shrink,
Ah, yes.
and just use that to seal it up Very cheap Bunnings printer. And that's it.
So do you use heat shrink on the ones like if you were doing some up the pole, or?
I always prepare them like this, and then when you put the connector together, you pivot. Ideally you put mastic over it, then you pivot again, and then you put plastic tape over it. That is
Yeah,
not
you don't
waterproof.
bother with heat.
that, no.
All that does is act as a glue strain relief, and
Yeah.
it does help seal a little bit of it just from stuff coming up the edge, but it's not waterproof.
Yep.
These are known as a semi-waterproof connector, but take that a bit generously.
It doesn't really have any active waterproofing stuff.
No, although they're sealed actually in there, and the waterproofing's actually got a seal in here.
The connector might
Yeah.
be waterproof.
But-
It's
But the
the
rest of it's
braid.
not. Yeah, and that's what usually
Thick and
kills them.
braid, yeah.
So at home, would you put PVC over the top of that?
What I would do is when I connect it to the outside, on the outside connection, I would use what they call pib tape.
Yeah, what do you
Polyisobutylene.
It's
Self-amalgamating
tape.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's
over the top of
relatively
that?
expensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But you wouldn't bother heat shrinking it.
Yes, I'd heat shrink like
You
this.
still heat shrink it, would you?
Yeah.
And then tape over the top
Tape,
of it.
and you tape from behind the heat shrink to the end of the joint. Ideally, then you get at least one layer of amalgamating tape on it, and the plumber's mastic is the best way. You form that up over there so that it's a nice gentle transition, and then another layer of the amalgamating tape on it. And what that does is that the first layer of tape keeps the mastic out of the connectors.
Yep.
The mastic itself provides the seal in the back and is a malleable joint. The second layer of amalgamating tape protects the mastic and nicely tape it, and the last layer of plastic tape actually just takes
So the
up the wire
mastic
off
you use is just a.
just that plumber's mastic. It comes in rolls. And you
Denso
warm it up
tape
with your
is
fingers.
used, isn't it, Dave?
Denso's used on sites with Kias.
Ah,
Yeah,
well,
so
they don't like it.
they don't like
Doesn't
it.
taste
It's
nice.
it keeps their beaks sticky.
Ah.
So Kias will destroy plastic tape and pib tape in
Yeah.
short order. They just it's
What
like
stops them chewing through the coax itself?
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Well, they don't bother.
No. I have been up and we have replaced coaxes that have been
Yeah.
eaten by the Kias.
Right, so they-
Nothing prevents them from doing this. That's exactly.
Yeah, my
the
dad
point.
always reckoned that they'd lift leadhead nails off the huts.
Yep. Yeah, quite believe it. Yep.
Yep.
Well,
They
look, some of
would
the
take their
photos
extra
from
coax on the
branch,
Peter Huts.
from
Fjord
North
National
Canterbury
Park and
branch,
then off the road.
photos of some of the
So
Yeah,
on
sure.
your
Stuff
home
was years
station,
done,
you
yeah.
had 2 rolls of mastic.
I
Two
suppose-
layers of pib and mastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
if I've got it on hand.
Yeah, but at home,
Yeah.
not out in industry. but-
No, at home if I can, I'll do it. At home, if and because budget is a constraint, you can get away with 3 layers of the pib tape. But it does pay to put 1 layer of plastic tape over the top. Just keeps the sun off it, otherwise it cracks. And,
Yeah, I always put